I've been waiting for that for so long. Mexican Monster. He's up there with the Matrix. Promise y'all he just up this game. This boy is fast.
This guy, way more stronger. I just feel like, it's just a hype, this guy has his hype, and you can see he's scared.
I've been waiting for that for so long. Mexic Monster dumb there with the Matrix promise. Why he just upped this game. This boy is trash. David Benavidez and David Morrel Jr. are heading towards one of the most intense showdowns of their careers, and it's personal. The tension between these two fighters has been brewing for weeks, with neither man willing to back down. This Saturday night in Las Vegas it all comes to a head, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Go in the back, go in the back. Benavidez is coming into this fight with an unbeaten record of 290 including 24 knockouts. His resume speaks volumes, featuring dominant wins over big names like Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade and David Lemieux. He's a fighter who thrives on pressure, delivering devastating combinations that leave his opponents overwhelmed. But for Benavidez, this fight isn't just about adding another win to his record, it's about proving he's the most dangerous fighter in the sport today. My brother has way more experience than this guy. Way more stronger. I just feel like it's just a hype. This guy has his hype and you can see he's scared, and all these. On the other side is David Morrel Jr., a Cuban star whose career has been nothing short of meteoric. Despite having only 9 professional fights, Morrel has already captured the WBA regular light heavyweight title and shown he's a force to be reckoned with. Known for his speed, precision and power, Morrel is the kind of fighter who can capitalize on even the smallest mistake. He's coming into this fight confident and eager to silence those who doubt his ability to hang with someone as seasoned as Benavidez. This isn't just another fight on the calendar for Benavidez, it's a chance to cement his place as one of boxing's elite and silence critics who claim he hasn't faced enough top-tier opponents that haven't fought somebody like him. At the end of the day, he's never fought nobody like me, and I'm going to prove everybody that there's levels to this. And I'm not playing when I'm saying I'm going to break his mouth, cause that's exactly what I'm going to do. For Morrel, it's an opportunity to prove he's not only a rising star but also a fighter capable of toppling an undefeated champion. The bad blood between the two fighters has only added fuel to the fire. Benavidez has been vocal, brushing off Morrel's skills and questioning whether the Cuban sensation belongs in the same ring as him. Morrel in turn has made it clear that he's not intimidated by Benz's reputation, promising to expose what he sees as flaws in his opponent's aggressive style. Up and he's in for a long night. When I tell him break his mouth, that's really what I want to do. I'm not playing around, I'm going in there, and that's exactly what I tend on doing. What was the main thing that he said that really got you going? Really, when the two faced off earlier this week, the tension was thick, neither man broke eye contact, and the energy in the room was electric. The build-up to this fight has been nothing short of explosive, with both camps exchanging heated words and promising victory. The styles these fighters bring to the ring make for an intriguing clash. Benavidez is known for his relentless pressure, throwing punches and bunches and wearing his opponents down over time. Morrel, however, is a calculated technician who combines speed with pinpoint accuracy. If Benavidez charges forward recklessly, Morrel has the tools to punish him with counter punches, but if Morrel can't keep up with the pace Benavidez sets, the fight could quickly turn into a one-sided beatdown. Music. This fight also has implications far beyond Saturday night. For Benavidez, a win could pave the way for showdowns with light heavyweight giants like Dimitri Bivol and Error BBV. Those are the fights that could elevate him from being a dominant champion to a household name in boxing. For Morrel, a victory would solidify him as one of the most exciting new faces in the sport, opening doors to even bigger opportunities. The fight will headline a stacked card at the T-Mobile Arena, bringing boxing fans an action-packed night from start to finish. As the main event, all eyes will be on Benavidez and Morrel as they step into the ring to settle their differences. The main theme right now for this fight is that you're the one that's experienced. He has a deep amateur pedigree, but it's you who has the experience. Do you see that fight like this, or do you just see it just as another opponent? I mean, I don't really see the amateur as any. I don't see that as this is not an amateur fight, this is a Professional, you know, this is championship fight, 12 rounds, so I mean people might have an advantage, you know. The first, Benavidez has promised to deliver a statement performance, one that leaves no doubt about who the better fighter is. Morrel on the other hand sees this as his moment to shine, a chance to silence the doubters and shock the boxing world. Both men are hungry, confident and determined to leave Las Vegas with their hands raised. When the bell rings, the talking will stop and the punches will start flying in a fight with this much on the line. One mistake could change everything. Both men are promising a knockout, but the only certainty is that this is a fight fans won't want to miss. Jose Benavidez's SRN's comments have stirred up plenty of controversy in the lead-up to this fight, and his take that Caleb Plant is a better fighter than David Morrel has sparked fierce debates. In the boxing world, on the surface it might sound like an experienced trainer sharing his honest opinion, but many see it as a calculated attempt to downplay Morrel's abilities and plant seeds of doubt in the minds of fans and pundits. Let's be clear, Caleb Plant is an excellent boxer. His slick movement, sharp jab and counter-punching skills are undeniable, but is he really a better fighter than David Morrel? That's debatable. Plant has had his moments, but he's also been exposed in fights against elite competition, most notably when Canelo Alvarez broke him down and stopped him in the 11th round of their fight, while Plant bounced back with a solid win over Anthony Darrell. He was thoroughly outclassed by Benavidez in their matchup. Saying Plant is better than Morrel feels like a stretch, especially when you consider how Morrel has dominated his opponents in such a short span of time. They say that David Morrel, were talking about Betco, they said he was tested. The whole camp David Morrel was not tested, and after the fight they didn't do no test, no drug test, which is kind of odd to me. You know, I'm not, I really don't care about that, even if it was on steroids. I beat the. What stands out most about Jose Sr.'s comments though is his insistence that Morrel should have taken a slower path to this fight. According to him, fighting veterans like Andrade, Darrell or Mummy would have been better preparation for facing Benavidez. On paper it's not a terrible idea. Fighters often build experience by facing a mix of rising stars and aging veterans, but this line of thinking ignores two critical points. First, none of the fighters Jose Sr. mentioned have shown any interest in fighting Morrel. Andrade has spent much of his career bouncing between weight classes without ever landing the marquee fights fans wanted to see. Darrell has passed his prime and hasn't been active in years, and Mummy, with all due respect, his name doesn't carry enough weight to prepare someone for a fighter of Benz's caliber. Suggesting these fighters as stepping stones feels more like an excuse to discredit Morrel than a genuine analysis of what would help him improve. You need to do that with Morrel, but I just want you to be right back here is a different animal. I want you right back here when David beats the __ out of David. You come right back. No, I'll be here when David beat the __ out of David. Walking forward, David, you know, I want you to give it to me. Second, Jose Sr. conveniently overlooks the fact that Benavidez himself didn't take the hardest road to the top. While he's undeniably talented, his resume before fighting Plant wasn't filled with world beaters. Fighters like Ronald Gavel and Galen Love aren't exactly the kind of names that prepare you for the elite level. Yet no one questioned whether Benavidez was ready to face tougher challenges. So why is Morrel being held to a different standard? If anything, Morrel's decision to step up and face Benavidez now should be applauded. It's a bold move that shows he's not afraid to take risks even against an unbeaten champion. The Cuban could have taken an easier route, padding his record with more wins before chasing the big fights, but instead he's diving straight into the deep end, and that's something fans should respect. First, live on pay-per-view from Las Vegas at the Team Arena. The narrative that Morrel isn't ready for this fight also ignores the reality of how boxing works. Fighters don't exist in a vacuum. Their teams carefully assess opportunities and risks, and if Morrel's camp believes he's ready to face Benavidez, there's a reason for that. His dominance in his previous fights, including his win over Ravo Kadek, proves he has the skills to compete at the highest level. Kadek may not be a household name, but he's a tough, experienced opponent who posed a far greater challenge than someone like Mummy ever could. You talking that talk when you reading his energy, you know, looking in his eyes, reading his energy, his body language. What did you say? I've seen that he realized that he bit off more than he could chew. He knows that I'm not playing now. I'm coming to this fight 100%, and you know, this is not a fight that I had to take, you know, this is a fight that I wanted to take. A lot of people saying this is a dangerous fighter, but there's not really no reward because, and let's Not forget the elephant in the room, fear. For all the talk about Morrel needing more experience, the reality is that Benz's team avoided this fight for as long as they could has.